So hello everybody and welcome to the channel Bob's Sales This Times Next Year. So hello everyone, I am actually back at work again, as you can see, busy like always. So yeah, not great. Hopefully everything's going alright in the VeVe world. Unfortunately, I did make a Titanic video this week. I've seen so many Titanic videos, I thought I'd butt in on that one. Because I've always looked at Titanic, I've always loved Titanic, I've always collected Titanic. So I definitely thought I could improve on some of the videos that were released, shall we say. Not only that, I thought that maybe we'd get a bit more traffic in, and then next time the next VeVe video comes up, all these new subscribers would then get introduced to VeVe. But judging by the watch time and the people that watched that video, it wasn't worth the effort. I put probably 6 days into that. So yeah, it probably wasn't worth the effort. I do apologise about the hair again. I know I look rough, but that's life. I do apologise again about the StreamYard, that side even, about the StreamYard logo. It does cost £25 a month to actually just remove that and actually use StreamYard. I do normally pay for that, but I haven't actually used StreamYard for a while, so there's been no need to really. I mean, to stream and do YouTube and everything else, I mean, editing software, thumbnail software, all that stuff, all costs money. I think to stream each month costs me about £70 a month. So it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's definitely worth it. Changed my life anyway. So anyway, today's video, I haven't really got anything planned, I'll be honest with you. There's not really a lot going on in the app. Well, there is quite a lot going on in the app, but a lot of it's just in the process of being soon. I do reckon we've got a new payout provider done. That does look like it's actually been done, if I've got to be honest. It looks like that we've already got a payment provider and we're just finalising things. It seems like that could be ready within the week, I would say. Keep that in mind when you see your vault value drop in the next week or two, because that could probably be why. So one of the things I did want to talk about, let me just get my information up, because I'm professional. Now let me just see. Right, so one thing I did want to talk about is some of the things VeVe have done right. So yes, on every single channel that goes about on VeVe, every VeVe channel, every content creator, everyone's fast to point out what goes wrong in VeVe, but they're not also quick to jump on what VeVe have done right. So with that being said, I just want to talk about a couple of things what recently VeVe have improved and give them some credit, because a lot of it goes unnoticed, a lot of it does just sneak under the system, and then sometimes there's normally something else that comes up to then completely ruin what they just did. So I think the first one we'll go through is the search bar. So yes, we have a working search bar, almost working search bar, shall we say. It is 10 times better than it was, put it that way. It's not Google yet, it's not AI, it's not chat GDP, but it's definitely getting there. It's a lot better than what it was. So the search bar is definitely improved. You can find items a lot easier. It's still not as easy as it should be, but it's a lot better than it was. The next one, I would say search editions and the ranges of editions. So right now you can actually search if you want a certain mint number. So if you want mint 906, you type that in and you'll find mint 906. You can also put it from 806 to 906 and it'll show you all of them in between. So that is definitely a good improvement. The amount of times I've asked only daily burn for mint numbers, that definitely helps. I do like that situation, I must say. So editions mostly have been going down, I must admit. So with the audience going slightly down, I say slightly down, with the audience going down and us being in a bit of a stalemate at the minute, editions have gone down with it. I do agree editions needed to go down, but again, that is affecting the market in weird ways. I mean, you got a lot of Disney moments, golden moments that have got a lot of editions, including Walt, which was pointed out to me earlier. There's a lot of editions of that stuff. And now all the new stuff coming. I mean, even the comics, for instance. A lot of the comics now are 7,500 mint. A couple of them have even been 5,000. And yet most of them are still at the same price as the 30,000 comics. Still £2 each on the common. So, I mean, they've gone up slightly. I must admit the market's raised slightly with them. But the people that were stacking the 30,000 books, like me, for instance, I used to stack quite a few of them. I've now actually started selling out of them and going into the smaller edition books for that reason. I mean, you've got to be honest, when the editions are going down like they are, sorry, just checking that ain't a depot ringing me. Yeah, so when the editions are going down like they are, it is fitting to the audience. They definitely have listened in that aspect of it. And I mean, when it is a big drop, we do still sell out drops. There's no debate in that. So the next one I'm going to suggest is probably the burns. So we did get burns implemented recently for comics and collectibles as well. So they have been sneaking them in. So at first I think it started with Squirrel Girl and stuff like that, a couple of comics like that. And the burns just come, and it did help the market a little bit on their items. Not only that, it kills some of the editions off. It's like the burns with the Soul Stone, for instance. So you could actually craft one of your collectibles into a Soul Stone. Now, I must admit, I never needed the stone. I never went for the glove. I never went for the gauntlet. I never collected all the stones. But I did still burn a collectible just for a gemstone. Just for a soul stone. I don't know why, I just wanted to try it, and I did do it. Now, the only bad thing I would say about the burns is, where's the animation? Like, there should be an animation with that. I mean, you can't be crafting a glove and there's no animation as it crafts. Or like with the Disney potions, for instance. I mean, that was a great example. The moment's release wasn't that great, I must admit. But then they announced the airdrop with it, and then you had obviously the potions that then burned. Well, then crafted the item into a poster, should we say. I mean, that was great for the market. I don't care which way you were on that, whether you made money, whether you lost money. That was great for the market. In certain ways, you could have made money off that if you do the right decisions. Right decisions, not always to mint the poster. Right decision could just be to flip the items you have at the time, like the poster potion, for instance. A lot of people brought that £100 plus, and then it went up to 200, 300. I'm not sure what it is now. I think it's a lot lower than that. But obviously the burning mechanism's done. But did VeVe get enough credit for that burning mechanism? That was a great new idea. It was a great way to bring excitement to the market. And it did actually bring excitement to the market. And I mean, it's a great way to implement the burns. But you do need an animation. If you burn an Electra, I do expect a flame, even a little flame, to just go and then disappear, you know. HRO pack openings are great. Like, if you could do something like that. I mean, even HRO, when you burn their cards now, it does have a little effect. Never used to, but they did actually add a little effect to that recently, which does make it better, I must admit. So yeah, it's definitely one of them. And it's like the Soul Stones, well, the Infinity Stones, should we say, and the glove and the gauntlet and the secret rare Thanos, the ultra rare Thanos. I mean, that was a great setup. I mean, I must admit, for me, it was getting too much money. I mean, most of them items are 60 gems on the box. I wasn't willing to keep them if I got stuck with them, if all things went to shit. I wasn't willing to keep them in my vault. I wasn't willing to pay 60 gems for them to look at a square box. I'm sorry, but I can't. But saying that, it's a square box, but I'm willing to go for the door. So I am actually considering the door. So I like the door, but I don't like the square box. So it's a hard one. I mean, VeVe do know what they're doing. You got to admit. I mean, okay, the crafting didn't always go as planned. First time round, the Soul Stone went wrong, but that was fixed. Infinity Gauntlet, that went a lot better, I must admit. It still had some errors, but it went a lot better. But I mean, there's great ways to burn collectibles. Great way. I mean, all of them stones now, you craft them and it goes into a gauntlet. You lost. I'm not sure how it works out set-wise. I think it's a bit of a killer there. But at the same time, I think it was a great idea. It did bring a lot of energy back into the marketplace. Did raise a lot of prices. It did help some of the other items in prices, and it has gave people opportunity to profit. No matter how much it's a collector's app, there has been times you could profit recently. So yeah, I think overall the burning mechanisms of crafting, I think all of that's been great so far. And I do like the door. I mean, they could have done another Disney potion. It could have been that easy. They could have just done potion number 2. But they actually went inventive with the door. I mean, that was pretty inventive, I must admit. I never expected to see Bo's door. But I must admit, that's a good way of crafting. That would have never come to me in a million years, Bo's door. Disney potion, yes, but Bo's door, no. So how do we think this one's going to go? So the doors are 30 gems each. Again, they're going to be worth getting no matter what you want to do. I did actually get a Toy Story 1989 mint, which is actually my birth year. I did actually get that on drop. Obviously, the price then dropped by 20 gems, I would say. It didn't sell out. I think the Nemo was the only one that sold out. But again, it was, I know I probably shouldn't have minted it, but I did mint it, and I was officially going to get a poster with it. I don't know why, but this time I think it's going to be the posters that are the way to go. I got an inbox from one of the YouTube fam, one of the VeVe fam, asking me if I'd be willing to sell the mint. I did actually take their first offer, I must admit, because I was being kind. I could have got a little bit more for that mint. I reckon it's kind of close to the movie start date and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if one of the VeVe fam asks you for a mint number that can help them collect or finish a set, I'd rather it go to them. I mean, my idea was I was going to burn it anyway. The only reason I kept it was because it's my date year, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I was going to burn it into a poster, so then again, I would have lost my mint year because it don't end up matching like last time. So rather than do that, I'd rather someone have it in their 1989 mint set, because that was what they were doing, they were collecting the set. I did actually get double the asking price for that, so I think I got 120 gems for that. It was 110, 120, something like that. So I think I cleared about 50 gems profit out of that. And at the same time, I can still buy a woody, keep 50 gems profit, buy a woody with the remaining, and still mint the poster. And I've done someone a favour as well. I like to do that. I mean, I owed one because Michael Camper helped me with one of mine before. He doesn't sell a lot of stuff, but he did help me with a mint. Didn't charge me any extra. He was actually going to give it to me a bit cheaper because he appreciates the fact that I'm a YouTuber, and I really did appreciate that. But at the same time, didn't want a bot to steal it, so I told him to give me it for the proper price. But again, I do appreciate things like that. Like you just can't make stuff like that up. And I mean, I owed someone that because he done it for me. So I thought the same way about that. I thought, well, I'll do that for them because they done it for me. So I think it's just right, you know, pass the love along. And at the end of the day, some of these things should go into collector's hands. And I did make double the money, so I can't complain. I probably could have got a bit more knowing what he was doing with the item. I mean, I knew that before I asked him, but I did straight up ask him. But at the same time, sometimes it's right to just take the profit and cut with that. So yeah, burns have been good. Next thing I'd like to mention is probably the VeVe blog. So the VeVe blog looks nice, I must admit. Really nice. I do like the VeVe blog. They've added great details into it. The colours look amazing. I do actually like all the colours and stuff now. Still not keen on the logo, but I'm still keen on VeVe. I'm still keen on the site. And the web app does look a lot cleaner, I must admit. They've done great on that. Oh yeah, VeVe's article, their videos. So they have started, Old Rhubarb's actually started making the background, the videos. They haven't done them consistently, I must admit. Mostly it seems to be for collectibles. It has started for comics recently. And it does kill a lot of channels because there are a lot of drop channels. And there is a lot of information in videos. I actually tend not to watch them videos before I make my own videos because I don't want them to influence what I say. I also don't want them to be the same. So I try and go off my own data. I try and get my own stuff. Then I tend to watch everyone else's videos after that. Yeah, the VeVe videos with Old Rhubarb, they've definitely been getting better. Great production quality, like always with Old Rhubarb. He definitely deserves that job, I must admit. Admittedly, I do think sometimes I do a better drop video. Obviously, with Darkside, there was one pose. Hulk's one pose. The other Hulk, there was one pose. It's great. Do you remember getting the 4 poses of the same collectible? I shit you not, 4 poses. That Darkside, that could have been 3 different varieties. And I actually expected it to be 3 different varieties. One folded arms, one doing the power ray, and one standing up. I did actually expect that to be 3 rarities, and they did actually make that all one animation. So yeah, that's great. I do like that because that was killing a lot of the characters where you got 4 characters, you got 4 items the same, just in different poses. I don't like that, I must admit. And when it gets to the VeVe-verse and Cavernous and stuff like that, we may actually be able to manipulate these NFTs anyway. So whether the poses are not going to matter then, I really don't know. But then if you could animate everything, will that then kill the secret rares that are animated? Because if you can animate everything anyway, it's a weird one, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So the animations have actually got longer. I don't know whether you've noticed, but specifically with like the Sesame Street ones and stuff like that, they've actually got really good animations. And the animations are a good 15 to 20 seconds long. Now, the animations used to be a flap of the wing, bit of running water, stuff like that. I mean, I remember, what's her name? The McPherson girl. And it's supposed to be animated. I think it's like a green girl. I can't remember the name of it. It's got like a little black puddle. And the little black puddle moves the tiniest bit. And that was called an animation. I think that was taking a piss a bit on that one, I must admit. To call that even an animation, I mean, that's You can't call that an animation. But yeah, the animations have definitely got clearer, they've definitely got smoother. I mean, even Darkside, I didn't like the collectible itself, the mask, the face. I didn't like the laugh. I do think they made it a bit childish, a bit cartoony in my opinion. I do think it should have been more like the movie one. But the collectible, the animation, you can't argue with the animation. Animation, great. The ray goes funny. Now, I've got to admit, I didn't know much about Darkside before this. I did know of Darkside because of HRO and stuff like that. That card was actually well sought after for the first couple of months of HRO, and Darkside's always been one of them. And this is DC's Thanos, pretty much. Not that extreme, but it's they basically have the same storyline. They both want to destroy the world and run it by themselves. So it's basically the same. They both want to take over humanity, making them slaves, or kill half of them. So they are pretty much the same character, and I reckon that would make a good film. But will we ever see a Marvel and DC film? That is the problem. One of the other things they have done right is MCP. Now, I don't know whether you can say they've actually done that right, because I don't know about the rest of you, but my MCP actually disappears every few days still, and then says I need to join MCP, and then when I join it, it's completely different to what it was. So I'm not sure how great that works, I must admit, and the points never look right. I've tried to work these out hundreds of times, and they never look right. My Collectibles has worked them out, they're not right. Michael Camper's worked them out, they're not right. Omi Daily Burns worked them out, they're not really right. So they're definitely not right. I mean, I can tell that by just some of the purchases I make day by day. I add the points up, and then the next day I get no points. Well, half the points I'm supposed to. So the points definitely don't work properly, but it's definitely good to see something implemented, a bit of MCP. People have started buying up floors because of that. They have started collecting more comics and stuff like that. I mean, my first account is full of common comics and stuff like that, what I did really overpay for at the time. But even some of them have started to go back into profit because MCP has actually started to kick it up. Has actually helped the stamps a little bit, although the stamps are not that profitable. Coming to the stamps, actually, while we're on that subject. So the last stamp drop, we've got a stamp drop coming in a couple of days. So the last stamp drop I've done the Kobe Collects technique. So Kobe actually spent about $300-400 on it last time, and I think he hit about 4 secret rares out of that. Rest are uncommons, commons. But by the time he'd sold off the secret rares, he'd actually made his money back and then got a shitload of stamps in between, which was not a bad plan. So last time I had a bit of money spare, I must admit. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the Kobe Collects technique once. So I spent about 120 gems on stamps, and I completely wasted my money. I did get 2 secret rares. They both went. I can't remember the price now. It was a profit, but it weren't a great profit. But I think all said and done, I lost about 40 gems as the way it sits. But you only lose when you sell. So most of them I still have. I did in fact sell the secret rares, probably too early. But yeah, stamps are not really my thing in there, I must admit. They're not really my thing. I mean, I've got some stamps at home, but they're like animal stamps, WWF stamps, not the wrestling, the wildlife organisation, which is why it was changed, by the way, to WWE. But that's another conversation. Of course, we have no cash out. That is one of the main issues with VeVe. I haven't cashed out anything on VeVe yet. I have tried once and it went wrong. And that was when it first started, and that literally put me off. I never tried again. I just then spent that $2,000, whatever it was, on more secret rares comics, which ended up going completely down, by the way. So yeah, that's a pain in the ass. And the other thing about MCP, they wouldn't let me merge my 2 accounts, so I'm pretty annoyed at the minute. So I've got one account with about 260 comics in and about 20 collectibles, and then the other one's got, I would say, about 80 comics in now because I started getting rid of them. And I would say there's about 10 collectibles over there. I'd rather them all on one account, I must admit. It's pretty annoying when you're trying to make videos and stuff, and you have to keep switching between accounts. And then you realise that you want to play with one item with the other item, make a short video like I normally do, one of them fun ones. And it's in the other account, so you can't actually put them two together. So that is getting annoying. I really wish someone would buy that account out, because I really just can't be arsed with it. And to transfer it all across to myself and buy it all back, that's just a pain in the arse. And the amount of money I'm going to lose in fees, half of it's in minus right now, and I'd still rather see what I paid for it originally rather than transferring it to another account for less price or something, and then it shows that I paid 20 for it when I've actually paid 35 for it previously, because I do like to keep them as a benchmark so I know what I'm doing. So VeVe have actually updated the languages in the app too. They've changed it so you can actually change to 3 languages, I think it is. That is a bullish thing. It's not the biggest update in the world because this is a worldwide app. Where are the rest of the languages? So it's a worldwide app. It should have every language. But how easy is that to implement? I couldn't tell you. It's not my sort of thing. I know nothing on the technical side of that. But it's a great update to see. We know where David was traveling like the past year. So hopefully that's good news. Hopefully that shows we will be getting that marketing properly soon. One of the other things they've added is push notifications. So now when you're on an auction, when you're in the marketplace, when a drop's coming up, it does actually say this drop is coming up in half hour, join the wait list. Or it does actually say, you know, you've been outbid on this, which is handy because that never used to really come up anymore. It did come up for a while, but then it stopped. But yeah, there's a lot of things like that on there now. You're getting a lot more. You can find people. You can even type in users now. So you can actually find other people in the app. Yay! Big news. But that is a big thing because that was so hard. So many people listing, what's his name? Fasos. Is it Fasos? The one with the praying hands? So many people, 9.9 million, just so you can find them in the app. So yeah, that saves that drama. And it's definitely a step in the right direction. I'm sorry I've been a bit slow on the videos this week. I did actually do that Titanic one, and I did actually really want to do that just personally for myself. I was actually going to put it on another channel, so I didn't feel like I was rugging my VeVe fam, because I know a lot of you here for VeVe videos, you don't expect anything else, and I can't say I blame you. But at the same time, I'm a VeVe user. I've watched these channels for VeVe. I don't really want to watch them for anything else, so I can imagine when you see a Titanic video on my stream, it was a bit random. But I was going to put that on a new channel, and then I thought to myself, well, why put it on a new channel? I thought if I can bring users into this channel that don't know what VeVe are, and then they watch my next video, say, they're either going to unsub straight away, or they might actually take an interest into what I'm talking about and think, well, actually, we'll take a look at that. And it's a great video. I made some great comparisons in there. Like I said, I watched the expeditions over the years, going down to the Titanic. I've watched a good 10 different ones. I brought all the films, all the DVDs of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I've seen the tech change over the years. I see the differences, and I instantly knew by just looking at the differences. As soon as I see Titan and I see the differences, I could remember me going down with James Cameron, and that was 20, 30 years ago that was made, and yet it was made better. But it was made for different reasons, so that was why it was made better. But at the same time, if you're going down to them deeps, you don't use reused recyclable parts. You don't use you don't reuse the porthole window. You don't put ballast, metal poles for ballast in the bottom. What is all that about? That's not even, is that safe for the environment? So what, you're going to a shipwreck and then dumping more iron poles down there? I mean, is that for real or what? That is the most stupidest idea I've ever heard. As I say, I've always had an interest in the Titanic, the passengers themselves. So I thought I'd share a little bit of that, a bit of my personality. So I hope you didn't mind too much. I did actually lose 2 subscribers because of that. I mean, is it that bad that I can't make a video on my own channel or something I really wanted to make and then lose 2 subscribers because it wasn't VeVe? Now, I can understand that if I've done 10 in a row, but I've done a one-off video, and I lost 2 subscribers. It took me a year and a half to get these subscribers. Please don't leave me. Like, honestly, I put some good videos out. I do really put some effort into my videos. I don't just sit here on the stream and talk to you. Now, that's great for a lot of people. A lot of people can do that. A lot of people have got the confidence for that. But Bob don't really have the confidence for that. I don't really like talking like I am now. So I don't know. I do like having my pre-recorded videos, should we say, because I'm clear on what I need to say. Everything is scripted. I've written my whole script down myself. I've done all the research myself, so I know it's all right. I know everything's 100%. So yeah, I do really put effort into these videos. There's some of them 10-minute drop videos, some of them 5-minute drop videos, 2-minute, 3-minute history. That takes a while to make, and I do try and put good effort into the drop videos to make them a bit more than just a standard drop video. I never used to do drop videos over here, and then I've done one history, and I kind of got carried away a little bit. I think it was the history of Chucky. And I mean, I only done that one because I've always loved Chucky. I know a lot about the film. I know about toys. I know how collectible Chucky is. So I felt I could add to that one. So that's why I've done it. And then ever since then, I've been getting so carried away with drop histories. It's been crazy. But I've also learned a lot from myself. But it has also made me more bullish on some of the items I wouldn't buy. And I've actually bought some items what I'd have never bought. It's same for the Same for the shorts. I don't really like making shorts. I don't make serious shorts. All the shorts you'll see are VeVe NFTs basically in augmented reality. That are my shorts. The algos hate me. Like, no matter what I put up, the algos hate me. But then my channel's still going up day by day. We're in a less interested space, shall we say. The most lowest count of people paying attention there is right now. A lot of people are just holding and waiting. Not a lot of people watching as much VeVe. Like, I think that's why I don't get so many subscribers. I think that's what it was. Because the first 6 months of making my videos, I was learning on the cuff as I was making the videos. You go back and watch that first video, it was so bad. So bad. And I don't sound like Bob Sales. I have no voice. I have no tone to my voice. I sound depressed as shit because I was depressed as shit. But yeah, there's definitely been a huge difference. The worst thing is, once you put someone off your channel once, do they come back? I don't think they do, and I think that's my problem. So, and I do need to do more live stuff. So I have got some other guests I need to get on. I do need to get Superstar Money on again. I do have a whale that needs to come on the channel and has been waiting for ages. But because of streams, it keeps cutting me off. I don't know what's going on. I look to be okay today. I don't look like I've gone anywhere today. Every other time, I'm definitely just getting kicked off the stream. So I don't know whether it's my home internet, laptop, or what. So I will do some more drops this week. I'll definitely catch up on the door. I will be going for the door, I must admit. I will try and do the background for the comic on Thursday, maybe, because that looks like an interesting one. I can't say I've ever seen it. But then I was never a comic guy before. I mean, I brought comics over the years, but I've never been like a religious comic guy. I always thought it was geeky. I mean, I've got Thug Life written on my arm, so that to tell you the sort of bloke I was back then. Not the nicest bloke in the world. Now I'm willing to speak to anyone. Don't judge anyone. You can be rich, you can be poor. We get along just the same. VeVe opened my eyes to a lot of things like that. Like, I was very withheld, very withdrawn to who I'd speak to and that. And ever since VeVe, I must admit, I speak to every Tom, Dick and Harry, every race, every single person there is. Like, there's not one person I wouldn't have time for in VeVe. I mean, if you ever got a question, you ever want to reach out, you ever want to ask me something, you need help, anything like that, you're more than welcome to DM me. I'm always available. Like, I will never not answer someone in a message. You want to buy something off me, make me an offer, fire it through. I'm always fair with trades and deals and stuff like that. I will not overcharge you for anything. Like, so yeah, I'm always here. So if you ever need me, you know where I am. I can't say I'm going to charge a membership anytime soon. I can't say I have any real plans for a membership. I should start a Discord at some point, but I really don't like Discord too much. But I should start one for my channel, because there's a lot of things where I could help you flip, I could help you sell, I could help you do all sorts. So, and I'm quite interested in member content, like Double Quill's blog, for instance. She has a great blog and stuff like that. So anyway, that's been the video. I'm sorry if I rambled on a bit there. I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.